Buying a dental practice is the biggest decision of your career, and selling that dental practice is the second biggest. It's Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. We are partnered and sponsored with the amazing DDS Match Group, who can help you buy and sell practices with more success and less stress. These are the biggest decisions of your career. Make them with purpose, intention, and most of all, do not be dentist cheap. Invest in a good advisory team. To learn about what DDS Match does, just text BUY to 215-543-6454 or text SELL to 215-543-6454. I am thrilled to be here with my friend, sponsor, and colleague, Justin Baumann. Justin, just give us a minute of what you do in your daily life to help dentist dreams come true, and most of all, avoid screams.
Yeah, no problem. I think what sets us apart, and I would say DDS Match in general, but also Jessica and myself, is we live by three nice little, I guess you'd say, tendencies in general. One of them, obviously, integrity. The other one is going to be transparency, and the last one is confidentiality. So integrity, I'm a former military officer. Jessica's a healthcare attorney by training, and together we're partners in this. So quite simply, we just do the right thing. We do the right thing. The rest comes along with it. The transparency thing, again, everything I know about a dental practice, the buyer will know. And that's the same kind of mentality that we want to transition throughout the entire process. In confidentiality, right? We want to make sure that our sellers are protected throughout this entire process. But in general, that's kind of what sets us apart, believe it or not. And that sounds kind of like it should be commonplace in the industry, but quite simply, it's not. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Great points. You guys are responsible brokers doing the right things for your clients, helping them move on to the next step of their career with more success and less stress. So let's drill down, pun intended, into what dentists like. They like details, they like practices. So this is still a regional game, right? If we're just educating people, there's a lot of regional specific things to selling practices. So just talk to us about where you are for people who might not know, and a little bit about these practices that are currently for sale.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, looking at there, the Lake Champlain practice, I'll be a little more transparent of where that is. It's Lake Champlain, so we're talking Plattsburgh, New York. It's up there. It's a little bit north, but again, it's one of those things that's very close to another town y'all might have heard of called Montreal. So any of your friends are a little Canadian or have a little family in Canada, especially the Montreal area, this is a great practice to kind of get your feet wet into. Literally a view of Lake Champlain. So, I mean, awesome. You walk into the operatories, there's a view of Lake Champlain. So it's a beautiful practice, very large, could use a few updates on just aesthetics. And the seller is willing to stay on. So that's, and look at the size of that with 10 ops for gosh sake. So
awesome.
Plenty of room
for growth.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Nice. Walk us through this next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one is just a hair outside of Albany, New York. In fact, I'm going to be there on tomorrow evening, actually, for a showing. So again, it's a practice. One of these things about rural practices, and I think, Paul, you like to harp on that as well, is that they're little gold mines. And that's exactly what this practice happens to be. Just a hair outside of about 40 minutes outside of Albany in a smaller town, but there is zero competition. Overhead is low, patient loyalty is high, staff loyalty is high. So this is another one of the kind of no-brainer practices. But again, it takes somebody to get a little bit out of their comfort zone to say, listen, I'm willing to drive 40 minutes a day to have the best practice that I probably could ever get my hands on right off the bat, versus having to build something up in a very competitive area. So
awesome. These are two awesome opportunities for you to learn more about. And just as we move to the next one, people should connect with you, Justin, when they want to buy a practice. When? The day before, the week before, a year before, someone's watching it saying, hey, this is an area I want to be in. I want to start talking to someone like Justin. When should they be connecting with you for a conversation?
Yeah, I would be honest. If you're a dentist, and I say even a dentist in dental school, and you're thinking that is the right way you want to go, as in owning a dental practice, especially if you're going to be within my territory, I can always reconnect you throughout the nation. But if you're a dentist within, say, the New York or Western PA area, that's how early. I mean, I really want you to get started in the process, understand what it means to own a dental practice, understand what it means to finance your practice if you're going to do that. Not be worried about the student loan debt that you have, because again, the bank will give you the money. And again, it's just one of those things that I think it's important to start early. And it's almost like the same thing when you talk about a seller. The sooner they start thinking about the strategy to transition the practice, the better it is going to be for everybody. So yeah, education is going to be important for young buyers. So yeah. Yep.
Now we got two more here from your area. Kind of walk us through these two.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one here in the southern tier is it's an exceptional practice. And it continues to grow. Recently, the seller, as about a year ago, brought in an independent contractor oral surgeon to come in, and that instantly popped the collections from 1.6 to 1.8 overnight. So that's where we're at right now. We're at 1.8, and he thinks actually by the end of the year he could be closer to about 2 million. Now, this practice is on the edge of the Finger Lakes. I mean, within 30 minutes, you are in the heart of the Finger Lakes, and Finger Lakes, I don't know if you know that well, but is a gorgeous area of just.
I went wine tasting there. I like that. I went wine tasting.
Wine tasting. As far as just getting out there and doing some outdoorsy things, boating, hiking, it's just a completely gorgeous area of New York State, and a lot of people have lake houses and everything along that. So, yep.
That's awesome.
So even though it's just a hair outside, it's like I said, it's just an amazing practice for the right opportunity. And again, look at that collection level about 1.8. It's going to take the right kind of guy to come in and be able to handle that. Yeah. There is a little bit of sleep within that as well, and that doctor is willing to stay on and help the transition of that sleep practice as well.
Nice. Tell us about this next one.
Yeah, this next one, again, we mentioned Finger Lakes, but this is a little further into the Finger Lakes, called Ithaca, a town called Ithaca. You might have heard of the college or Ivy League school known as Cornell. That's where this practice is based out of. In fact, this seller has another practice right down the road that is willing to transition over once this one particularly transitions on. So if anybody has images of grandeur and growth, this is a great opportunity to get in a plaza level, because it's a plaza practice. Again, still great collections. There's an associate that's willing to stay on. So, and again, right in the heart of the Finger Lakes, in a town I wouldn't call even a town. It's called Cornell. So,
yeah, nice. I know someone who went there. So you're sharing with us, Justin, as wrap up, how people can realize their dental dreams by, what do we want to say, being mentally flexible and considering practices that might be more rural but come with more rewards. How about that? More rural, more rewards. Is that fair to say?
Amazing. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, you got to think about what the amount of competition is in, say, New York City, in the heart of Buffalo, in the heart of Rochester, the heart of Pittsburgh. All of those kind of situations are, a little bit more difficult for anybody to get their toes into. These are practices that are well established. They have patient loyalty. They have staff loyalty. So again, these are the kind of things you would love to get into from the ground in. And again, all of these sellers are willing to stay on with the transition. So it's going to be very helpful in that process as well.
That's what they call me, catchphrase Paul. I'm putting more rural, more economic rewards. You got to comment. Well, people can text by to 215-543-6454 to learn more about our awesome partnership and sponsorship with DDS Match. Text cell to 215-543-6454. Thanks so much for supporting us, Justin and Jessica. Can't wait to see you in person soon for a higher low five, your choice. And thanks for sharing with us today.
Thanks again, Paul. Thanks for your time.